Hey, this is Steffi. I make things for you to put into your tabletop role-playing games, and today we're making another NPC for you to put into your games. And this one I started filling out before I started recording to just sort of let the character idea simmer a little bit, because with a monster hunter, which is like this sort of like character archetype I want to go with, there's a lot of just like overlap with any sort of idea with that character, with three core like branches you can go with a monster hunter archetype. Like, are they a monster hunter because they hate monsters? Are they a monster hunter because they love the people? Or are they a monster hunter because they're forced to be a monster hunter? And so with those three ideas sort of just being omnipresent in any sort of monster hunter character, I wanted to just let this character simmer and sort of just like step away from it for a second before coming back to it, to just kind of combat that simplicity in a monster hunter archetype and just be able to bring something a little different, where while it's still like following in line with this archetype, it will be a bit unique. It will twist some things a little bit, and just not make it like just some stereotypical grim monster hunter, or just recreating Will Ravengard. So I named this guy Marquis Lusat. He's human. He speaks Common, Dwarven, and Thieves' Cant. And so just with those languages specifically, what I did was just like, he speaks Common, and then I was thinking what other languages I wanted to give him, and I was just looking through a list of Dungeons and Dragons languages. I was like, all right, I'll give him Dwarven, because it just was an interesting pick, because I looked at my last two NPCs I've made so far, and both of them spoke Elven, and I was inclined at first to give him Elven. I was like, I'm just gonna not pick Elven. So I went with Dwarven as sort of just like because I think of dwarves, and they're usually like working at like forges or something, and I was thinking for Marquis to be in a city, an urban setting. So I'm thinking, like, especially with like including Thieves' Cant, to give him languages that are akin to like lower city, lower level, like who would he be talking to? And so I was thinking like laborers, dwarves, and then Thieves' Cant, because again he'd be a bit more like into like a foot in the seedy side of things, so he would know Thieves' Cant. He would be able to communicate through that. And so with the monster hunter role, what I'm thinking of now actually is that it's not necessarily a that he's like fully in one branch of those three branching paths you could take with like the monster hunter archetype. It's still like he hates the monsters, but it's more so that he wants revenge on the monsters, but also that he's forced to do it, because what I'm now thinking for the backstory is Marquis is we'll say his wife and kids were killed by lycanthropes. And then what I'm thinking for like being forced to do is a for this setting, this is gonna, like, all these characters are sort of like made for the ongoing let's make a world series. So for this setting, or for this character, it's like made for that setting, and for that setting, I'm thinking of making just a whole new pantheon, and so it'll just be like god of whatever, goddess of whatever. So this would be like the goddess of the hunt, and then sort of just like shake things up. The like gods have names, but it's nobody knows them except like the highest of like those godly orders. So we'll say we're killed by lycanthropes that were sent by the goddess of the hunt because Marquis, let's say Marquis spared a young child with lycanthropy. I'm just gonna add lawful evil for Gods of the Hunt. So just real quick backstory so far. You know, he had a family. They're dead now. They were killed by lycanthropes. Motivation to get revenge on lycanthropes, and also the lycanthropes were there because he failed to meet the Goddess of the Hunt's expectations. And so, since he's like a follower of this goddess, so you know, now like building off of that, he's got motivation in 2 branches to be a monster hunter and go after lycanthropes specifically, and to also like be a more like grim, somber, angry person. So 4 traits all add you know, those words: grim, somber, angry. And then as well 2 traits we'll say just very unforgiving of the sick, and more specifically like there'll be, because it's like, you know, it's Dungeons and Dragons, there's more than just like tuberculosis. Like there's sicknesses that are just turn into a werewolf, turn into a mind flare. So this will be like unforgiving of dire diseases, you know, so like lycanthropy. So like even if, you know, there's someone there who could like cure lycanthropy or something, he'll still just want that person dead because it's like part of his holy duty and his prejudice as well. And so then just to round off the backstory, and so he now travels around killing the lycanthropes he can find to fulfill his and his goddess's desires. And so just one kind of run-on sentence, there's his backstory. And so now, like, with this character, we've got his name, like what he is, what he knows, and sort of like what he knows kind of like bleeds into how he behaves and where he is and everything. And then what he does, how he acts, like where he came from, why is he here, or why is he where he is. And so then where to find him. We'll say he's in a unnamed city. It's the same city as what was mentioned in the last Let's Make a World video, because that is going to be the next Let's Make a World video. This sort of like beginner first city for the players to visit. So I'll just make sure to highlight this so I remember to change this later. But yeah, it's just that'll be updated. But he's in an urban setting. That's really all that needs to be said about that. Actually, I just realized I didn't fill this in, so I'll say he's like 3 to 5, like depending on what level the players are when they get to this early game city. He'll be like 1 level above them. So like if they're all level 3, he's level 4. If they're all level 2, he's level 3. But not exceeding 5. So if they're all level 5, he's also level 5. And so what does he want? He wants to kill all the lycanthropes he can find but also to sort of I guess spoil what I've been thinking of implementing in this unnamed city in the next Let's Build a World video is I want it's sort of like a lycanthropy outbreak, as if it's like a spreads like a normal disease, but like there's just lycanthropy is like spreading in a lower city area, and so like that's like what the goal is for the players, or like a quest the players could undertake when they're in the city, is like just help out with this lycanthropy problem, this lycanthropy outbreaks, or like get down to it and cure anybody who's a werewolf or kill anybody who's a werewolf, and just like figure out who's doing this, why, and just stop the spreading of lycanthropy. So so we'll say he wants to kill all the lycanthropes he could find, and he wants to kill all the carriers of lycanthropy in unnamed city. Alright, so then, like, so now it's just, here's where he is, here's why he's here, or what he wants to do, and specifically why he's here doing it, and then what do they have. This is a character where he doesn't really have, any, like, hard thing to give to the players. It's mostly just, he has, you know, he has his himself, like his monster hunting skills and everything. So we'll say, combat services if the players plan on killing all the lycanthropy carriers, and then also knowledge of the city's lower levels. So, yeah, it's just, where is he, what does he want to do, why specifically do it there, and, and then, like, what does he have to give to the players, like, it's, like, what do they want? Typically, I like to make that something the players can give them, and, like, here it is sort of something the players can give them, but it's not like a hard thing, it's more of a soft thing. It's just the players saying, yeah, we want to stop all these lycanthropes, we want to kill these lycanthropes, kill all these werewolves and were-ravens and were-rats. And so then he'll be like, alright, yeah, I'll help you kill them. Or maybe the players are like, no, we want to cure these werewolves, and then they don't get, like, he doesn't help them out, like, he doesn't give them any knowledge or give them any help with combat or anything. He's kind of just like on their own, and potentially even like a threat as he's killing the patients that the characters are caring for. And so, like, just filling out this quick little like 1-page document, just a couple of questions. We now have like who this is, like just general knowledge, like name, species, and then also like what he speaks, and then with this it sort of characterizes him, what he does, how he acts, how strong is he, and just like who he is, and like relevant knowledge for the players. Like immediately, like session he's introduced is like the session all of this would come up. And so just answering these couple of questions, there's now a Monster Hunter NPC that you could use in your own games, and like you could shift this all around, just erase any instance of unnamed city with any city. You just pick them up, throw them wherever. That's sort of just the purpose of this series. So yeah, see ya.